Ferrari is a huge part of Formula One. Whether you hate them, or you hate yourself, or if you can't stop laughing at them because they have shit strategy, you are aware of how much influence they have had on Formula One. This year, despite Ferrari investing the most, their car has evolved backwards, and everyone has been pointing fingers. Is it all Matteo Binotto? Is it because there is no diversity in the team whatsoever because everyone's Italian? Or is it because they have finally stopped cheating? Even if that were the case, that wouldn't mean that the aero and chassis is bad as well. It would only be the engine because that's what the FIA were investigating. Ever since the FIA's investigation into the legality of Ferrari's engine, the performance has dropped. In the midst of the season, they were pretty quick. Ferrari was pretty quick until the FIA came along. What probably happened there was the engine was illegal, and the FIA told them to run it on lower modes because Ferrari probably didn't have the time to make a new engine for the rest of the season, and that was probably the deal they made. They probably kept this deal away from the other teams because the teams would have protested about them keeping this illegal engine. And that's probably also explained why in the 2020 season the engine is suddenly much more terrible, because this is the new engine they had to rush to create. The reason also probably why they've had radical changes in like the aero, which given them problems, is because they had to do that to try and find some other way to get some performance out of the car, because it was the engine last year. They made it like drag efficient and all that, and I had to completely change that because they know that engine was going to be terrible. So they've probably had to make a high downforce vehicle this time, but that's not really working at the moment, as seen in Sebastian Vettel's qualifying in Austria. You could see him just not being able to keep hold of the car at all. So that's my justification to why I think Ferrari's dropped in performance. I mean, you could just summarise it up and just say Matteo Binotto and call it a day, but there's definitely some more reason to it than just Matteo Binotto.